Hi, I'm 51 and my life sucks. In 2026, I've decided to rebuild myself, fix what is broken so that I can be a better version of myself and turn this life around to have a better second half of my life and hopefully improving my lifespan and most importantly my health span. So my 2026 New Year's resolution is to become a YouTuber at 51. And I've given myself a challenge that every day in January I will create and post a video here on YouTube. This is day 2, so we're going strong so far. But the reason why I decided to start with a daily video, hard as that is that I need to beat my own perfectionism and beat procrastination. Which means that not only does my life suck, my video sucks as well, because to fight perfectionism, you just have to record, you have to publish. So I feel for you, whoever is watching this one, if any at all. But let's be serious for a moment, or I mean, I'll be before serious as well. The thing is, there are many things great in my life, don't get me wrong, but in many ways, I'm also at rock bottom in my life. There are so many things in my life that isn't how it's supposed to be, how I want it to be, how it should be, etc., etc. So starting here now in January 2026, I think this is pretty close to rock bottom for me. I was super ambitious as a young adult, you know, in my early 20s or my late teens. Sometimes in the 90s, I was studying IT. I thought I was going to conquer the world. I was going to become the next Bill Gates. I was going to solve the Y2K bug, if you remember that one. If you're Gen X, I'm sure you heard about it, 2000 bug. On top of that, I was super fit. I was super confident. I was super popular with the ladies. And I was probably quite full of myself, to be honest. But nothing could stop me conquering the world. I was reading the books, I was reading the Financial Times, I was looking at successful business people I looked up to. How could I emulate them? What could I do to almost become them, so to speak? Well, I guess that didn't really pan out, because here we are, 30 years later. I'm basically 50 something pounds overweight, which is like at least 25 kilos overweight. I didn't become the next Bill Gates, and I'm driving a Skoda instead of a Porsche. But okay, in all fairness, I actually did have and have had some success. I've been working for myself for almost 25 years. I traveled around the globe. I've studied in 3 different countries. I probably seen, done, and traveled more than most people ever do in their life. And I did that in my 20s and my 30s and even 40s for that matter. Despite things being somewhat sucky, or in many ways me being, you know, at the rock bottom in my life in many areas, on a private level or personal level, it is really great. I just had a new baby. I have an amazing wife. We have 2 kids together. She has 2 from before, so there are 4 kids, so that's wonderful. But due to many things, which I may or may not get into on this channel later, we'll see, the last 5-6 years has been really bumpy and really shitty, and to a large extent why I say that I'm at rock bottom now. And this is what I really want to change. You know, I don't want to sit here and whine on YouTube and talk about all my shitty things and shitty lives and all the bad stuff that happened to me. Yes, there has been a lot of shit happening the last 5-6 years. and many things before that as well. Life is always a roller coaster. But I did wanted to give just a tiny bit of context to things. And, you know, despite all of the shitty things, it has also given me the motivation and now also the fire to change things moving forward. And that's to a large extent why I'm sitting here talking to a camera in my daughter's bedroom. In another video later this month, I'm going to talk about the concept of 1% improvements, which is, it's going to be sort of like a running theme throughout these videos, especially the first month, but probably the first 6 months, maybe even the first year. And in order to fix my health, my mind, my mental health, my body, my back, my knees, I have so many aches and so many pains from the morning I wake up to, you know, getting up off the chair, lifting up shit, all of that stuff. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this. Anyway, there will be a series of 1% improvements that I will do. And the idea is that when you do a series of small improvements, 1%, 1%, 1%, they will compound and will drag you upwards and forwards and become better. And again, I will discuss this topic in a video later. But let me give you a couple of examples. Since you watched this far, thank you very much. What are some examples of 1% improvements? So the first one, if you watched yesterday's video, I was wearing a cap. And, you know, look at this. Look at my hair. I mean, I can even make a freaking ponytail. I mean, my hair is messed up. I don't have any products in here. I haven't been to the hairdresser in 5-6 months. And I'm 51, I still have hair, you know. It's definitely creeping a little bit, but for the most part, I have my full hair. I don't have any, you know, blank spots here in the back. And I should celebrate that. I mean, I should, honestly, I don't care so much about hair, but I need to improve my hair, my style, how I look, because how I look, instead of always putting on a hat, you know, be it a freaking cowboy hat, which, oh, wait, that was the wrong way. You know, I have a cowboy hat, or, you know, putting on a cap, which I do all the time. Okay, in the gym I use a cap because I'm sweating and whatnot, but I use caps all the time. The 1% improvement is, you know, fix my hair, have a hairstyle, go to the hairdresser every month or at least every 6 weeks, make sure that I look nice, because even though I don't super care much about my hairstyle, it's also about feeling confident and looking confident and looking good for yourself, but in also in a large way, looking good for my wife. So that's an example of a 1% improvements. I will in 2026 go to the hairdresser maximum every 6 weeks or once a month. We'll see, probably every 6 weeks. But that is one improvement. So that's just one piece of a large puzzle of 1% improvements that will lift me, my self-confidence, etc., etc. Now that was a big one. I was supposed to say that in 3 sentences, and you know, I have, like I showed yesterday, I have a script. Horrible at following it. Another example of an improvement is, I showed you yesterday my working environment. So I have home office, I'm working from home. I use my daughter's room, like she has a big room, so I'm using this while she's at work or sometimes at home as well. But right now, this work area is so messy, and it doesn't work good for my ADHD brain. And I do believe with a clean and good work environment or studio, which it works as right now, will be better and more productive when it's clean and orderly and everything is in place. I showed you yesterday, and I haven't changed anything. You know, I have poker game, cowboy hat, I have books, I have toys, goodness, I have and all my books, all my stuff. It's a complete mess, and that needs to be fixed. So that's a 1% improvement in my work environment that hopefully will increase productivity for one, but also happiness or feeling good about sitting here and working. And I can give you a third one as well. I'm just having some tea here. And that is what was the thing here? I put it down here. Yes, a daily journal practice. Look at this. Like, I used to journal a lot. I have 2 here, and my journal practice went to hell last year. I have 5 books, and not a single one of them is filled out properly. That basically means, and here's a bigger book, I started 5 times last year. Horrible, horrible. This year, 1% improvement is daily journaling. I've already done it for about 2 or 3 weeks now, so I kind of have a bit of a head start. But that's another 1% improvement. It's about, you know, emptying the brain, getting down on paper. It helps me at least. Another example is going to be daily meditation. I'm going to get back to daily meditation. So there you have. That's 4 examples of 1% improvements that I'm going to implement in my life going forward. So I have so many things that I'm going to fix and improve with myself in 2026. It's quite overwhelming in many ways. But the question is, I guess it goes to the saying, you know, the saying, how do you eat an elephant? 1 piece at a time. Well, that's basically what I'm planning to do. I'm going to improve myself and try to increase, you know, my health, my well-being, my mental health, my business, my life in general, with the goal of increasing my longevity, my health span, my lifespan. Right? Like I mentioned, I just have a new baby at 51, which is in many ways totally crazy, but I'll talk about that later. So I feel like I need to live to at least 90 now, because I want to see that kid grow up, and I want to see him get his own family and get his own life sorted out. I want to be there, support him, and I need to make sure that I can live a long life, but not just live a long life and a sucky life. It needs to be a good life. It needs to be a life of meaning, where I can do stuff, see stuff, travel, experience stuff, and not just, you know, be a vegetable in a wheelchair stuck in a corner somewhere in an elderly home. So again, I went dramatically out of my script here, and should probably stop doing them at all. But anyway, I hope you will follow along the journey, and there's things that are important to me that might not be important to you, but I hope I can inspire as many people as possible. You know, are you in your 40s? Are you in your 50s? Are you in your 60s? Our lives isn't over. We can still improve. We can still become better version of ourselves. We can still do a lot of things to increase our lifespan, our health span. And while this channel is not going to exclusively be about longevity, you know, it's also going to be about personal development and self-improvement. But I kind of put everything in that bucket of the goal is to live longer, happier, and better. And what else? What else do I have? That's it. Let's just finish here, because I'm just rambling on now. There will be a new video tomorrow. I hope this was useful for the 3 of you that might watch this video. See you tomorrow.